Hi, I'm Catherine Cassidy, and the recent news reports surrounding Harvey Weinstein and all of the women coming forward with allegations against him, not to mention the Donna Karan comment around women needing to be mindful of what they wear because of they could be asking for it. Regardless of the fact that most of her clothes were always very close to the body and whatnot. And the whole ethos originally was very much about celebrating a woman's body. It made me want to come and pop in because this is so much of why I do what I do with You Styled and why I've always been so passionate, and even why I left being in corporate fashion in 2008 to start You Styled at the time, and now moving forward with Leadership Style Power, because, I have very much lived what all of you, every woman has lived in terms of body shame and trying to figure out this balance of how do I dress as a woman and as myself, but not attract the wrong kind of attention. So much of what I've gone through first of all, it pales in comparison to what many women have gone through, such as what is being shared as stories of what women have experienced with Harvey Weinstein, and previous to that, Roger Ailes, Bill Cosby, other men in powerful positions, taking advantage of women who are trying to figure out what is appropriate or what is not appropriate. I mean, my own body shame goes back to friends in high school who didn't have bad intentions, I don't believe, but were just making comments on my butt and giving me compliments. I could have taken it as such, but it made me feel really uncomfortable. I didn't want to be seen as a body. I wanted to be seen as a person. And I was wearing Gap jeans and t-shirts back in high school. It was not like I was doing anything to ask for it. Or when as manager of the boys basketball team, I felt incredibly uncomfortable in the equipment locker with the coach at one point, and I just was like, I vividly remember that feeling and being like, I need to get out of here right now, and doing that. And fortunately, listening to my intuition, but also writing it off as like, oh, whatever, that doesn't mean anything. Or when I ran into him with a bunch of the former basketball players that were my age when I was in college, and his comment to me was, does your mother know you're out? And that could be seen as innocuous, but I felt it as being very, it didn't feel good. Again, writing it off. And a couple of years later, he was in jail for statutory rape. And at that point, he was caught with at the time, manager of the boys basketball team. And that had been going on since when I was in high school. And I didn't speak up because it was innocuous. And to think about what I could have potentially helped prevent if I'd even just said something to my mom. And those are small things. I didn't experience anything physical the way some of these women have. And these women they were not asking for it. They were looking to create opportunities for themselves and trying to make sense of what was going on and what they needed to do next. Any case, the whole point of what I've been trying to build out and working to build out with Leadership Style Power, and previous to this, You Styled, is really ending this body shame and helping women find their power within themselves, with style as a catalyst for how you show up, how you own your power, honoring your body and the fact that you're a woman and you don't need to hide it. And yeah, sometimes at this point we still have to figure out how we can, ease men into the idea that we're a professional woman with a brain. And, I love men. I have incredible men in my life, but I still have to help them understand what I go through on a daily basis, just walking the streets, And again, that's just verbal. That's not anything physical. And as I continue to build out with content and partnerships, it's what I will work on bringing to you is different resources and tools so we can continue this conversation in a powerful and empowering way. And the beautiful thing about what's going on right now, I believe, is that it's really women coming together and supporting each other, because that is what it's going to take to change this conversation around, women and how we show up, and, letting go of this whole what's appropriate. Because at this point in corporate America, it's so, appropriate is so subjective, because you have business casual, you have business formal, you have, you're going out on retreats, all these different scenarios where, we are women wearing clothes. I'll share below a link to a blog post I wrote last year after an incident of being verbally accosted on the street wearing workout clothes, entitled Dressing for Success in a Man's World. And it's ultimately put on clothes or dressing for success as a woman in a man's world. What we wore back in the 80s and 90s was very much about fitting in with men and not making them uncomfortable, because this was new for us. This was new for them. We didn't necessarily know. And over time, we've been finding our identity as women in business. And it's about time for the next evolution where you can wear what makes you feel good, that enhances your performance, that empowers you to show up at your highest level as a leader, and not be concerned that the dress is too tight or the V-neck is too low or the skirt is too short, because you're making decisions that are in your best interest. So that's what I'm committed to creating for you, is resources. I always appreciate the love and support that you show as far as we continue to build everything out. And hopefully a leadership style power salon will be coming to a city near you. I can certainly keep you posted, and you can certainly ask me to come. But in the meantime, I'm here for you. I've got your back, and I am working on building on some other things that will make it even easier for you to show up in your style as a leader every day. Love to you.